Good afternoon, everybody. Julian McBain here, and we're playing some more Entropia Universe. Got a few things to go over in this particular video. The first thing is I'm really close to finishing stage 4, I believe, of the Iron Longtooth. Stage 3, excuse me, of the Iron Longtooth challenge. Yeah, stage 3. Only 25 mobs to go, and I wanted to show you all that. I also wanted to discuss a few things while we are doing that. And who knows, maybe we'll come up with something random on top of it all. Come on, operate. First off, let's talk about the lag today. It is Sunday, July 15th, and the lag in Entropia has been, there we go, terrible today. So, the first thing I really want to kind of cover is, why am I doing Entropia Universe videos, especially when I'm such a newbie? And the main reason is because of relevance. You know, I only have 17 or 18,000, what are my skill points now? All categories. I've got 18,700 skill points, which is really low compared to a lot of YouTubers. And so I have more recently dealt with a lot of the newbie issues, understanding how the economy works, understanding how markup works, figuring out what weapons are most eco for my level, and for the record, I know for a fact that I am not being eco at all right now. I'm not hemorrhaging that, but I'm not being eco at all right now because I want the missions for the Longtooth or the Eomon migration done, so that once I'm done, I'm done. I have no interest in farming strong boxes or any of the ancillary crap. I just wanted to finish the iron mission, so I'm burning a little extra ped to do that. The other thing about me being a newbie and doing videos is there aren't a lot of newbie videos out there. I mean, you get these upper level players, and I'm not dissing them. They're providing a good service. It's needed, it's necessary. I love them for it. I love watching their vids. But at the same time, for a newbie, watching someone who has 50,000 skill points, they're going after a much bigger game. It's not necessarily relevant to the person who's been here only a couple of days or a couple of months. Another is to try to give a realistic vision of the grind. You know, Big Industries is probably the biggest player-run organization in Entropia Universe, and they have a saying, and it's embrace the grind. And you really, really need to embrace the grind if you're going to get anywhere here. The Iron Puny challenges rack up a total number of 16,600 kills before you're done. But the skills you get from it are invaluable. In fact, I'd say that probably 3/4 of my skill points came from that grind. So, honestly, it's truly worth it. At a future point, I am going to be doing some videos of specific missions. There are some story missions that I'd like to do. And so, with that, I will make sure to try and record some of those. I haven't really touched the story too much. I did all the newbie missions, including the primary chain that gets you Bukin's spare rifle. If I had known I was going to be a content creator back when I started this whole thing, I totally would have recorded it from day one, the whole tutorial, everything. Honestly, if it weren't for Mindark's strict rule against it, I might be willing to roll a second tune just to show off that piece. Although I wouldn't develop it very far because, quite frankly, grinding one tune is enough in this game. I love this game, but grinding one tune is enough. So, after I'm done with the Longtooth, you're going to be seeing a lot more of the 5-ped hunts of berry clay. You're going to be seeing a lot more mining runs, which is actually one of my preferred activities here in EU, is mining. You might see, at some point, I'm going to start visiting other planets like Cyrene and Arcadia. Not going to record anything in space, because quite frankly, I've done a couple of space journeys and they're pretty much just sitting pointed at the planet and waiting to get there. Not very entertaining video. That being said, it is kind of awe-inspiring at the sheer scale of this game. So maybe I'll do one space vid just to give a sense of scale and how long it takes to get from planet to planet. But overall, I don't intend to spend a lot of time doing space videos, except unless I do something like on Foma or one of the other space stations. Let's see, we've got 18 left. So, on the grinding, this is probably the world's grindiest game, bar none. And for some reason, I love every second of it. This is different from grinding in WoW, this is different from grinding in Final Fantasy, this is different from, well, I can't say you can grind in Guild Wars because it is an MMO, but I never ground in Guild Wars. And admittedly, I haven't gotten too terribly far in it, but I never grounded it. But there's something about the growth, the way you grow your character, the hardcore skills grind that I just love. And if you embrace the grind, you're going to, one, be a lot more efficient, and two, have a lot more fun. Because in the end, it all comes down to how you want to spend your pet. And what it comes down to is, do you want to spend your pet up front, or do you want to spend your pet on the backside? And what I mean by that as an example is, if you are a crafter, you're going to spend a lot of pet up front, and long term you're going to spend very little or even make pet back, but you're going to spend a lot of pet up front. If you're a miner, you'll spend very little pet up front, but you may not make it all back. As your skills get better, you'll get bigger finds, you'll need to use fewer probes for more return. Similarly, in crafting, you'll have to spend less money for an item that has a much higher markup. So it'll all even out. As a hunting example with guns, you need ammo. The better guns use more ammo. With melee weapons, they don't use ammo. They might have higher decay, but you can amp them. So this is my opinion, and I could be totally off base, but my guess is with guns you have less of an upfront, but on the back end you're spending more because you have to use more ammo. You may get it all back in loot, but the ammo is kind of the killer. I think with melee I'm using more up front, but in the end I'll end up getting more back because I'll have the hyper efficiency, the decay doesn't change as I go. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that all pans out. Not to mention I have the tankier tune. The fastest way to high HP is being a melee player. It's also how you get the higher weight rating, is to be a melee player, because it grinds your strength out. Does that mean that I can carry a huge amount more than a player that just shoots? No. But I can carry enough to make a difference. So, and speaking of being new, I know there's probably newbie players out there, and I'm kind of tangenting a little bit back to my original statement that, you know, how new can you be with 18,000 skill points? You can't be that new. Well, let's put it this way. I have never globaled and I have never hoffed. Not once. I have yet to do that. These Longtooth, I happen to have, by chance, armor that's really good against this specific type of foe. Did I forget to empty my bags again? I did. Okay, that's fine. And it's only 1 by 1 wool. That's fine. Oh, no, I did empty my bags. We're good. Okay, I'm smart. I've never globaled, I've never hoffed, and what that means, a global is a really high drop for that particular type of mob, and a hoff is a Hall of Fame. You end up in this list. This rotates by last 24 hours and all-time high. As you can see, the all-time high is 331,968 ped, which of course corresponds to $33,196.80 US. Think about that for a second. That is a lot of cash for playing a video game. It looks like that happened back in 2013, so it's been a long time. Looks like the most recent was in August of 2016. Someone made 16 grand US. So when you get a global, I've watched some other players play. A lot of your higher, more experienced ones. They're sometimes called swirlies, and it's a gold swirl that goes around your body. And my hope is at some point when I finally do get my very first global, I'm really hoping that I'm recording with y'all. I would think that was awesome for my first global to be caught on vid. As I do this, we got 7 remaining. Should have plenty. Oh yeah, we got plenty of decay left. What was that? Oh. I must have done something cool. I just had a flash of green, but I can't see what happened, really. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I got a new level in my heavy melee weapons skill. That's entirely possible. The last thing I really wanted to go over in this vid is the lexicon. That was actually one of the biggest things I wanted to go over. There are a number of terms in this game that are pretty specific to Entropia, and as a newbie, I sometimes forget that not everyone knows what these terms are, the most famous of which is TT. TT, of course, refers to the infamous trade terminal. And trade terminals are both the best and worst part of this game. What do you mean, Paul? So the trade terminal is great because it means you can sell the crap that you don't need and buy critical things like ammo. If you're new, you can get the newbie weapons, like the newbie sword, the newbie gun. This is a Solomate, a Nixo, which is what you buy in the trade terminal. It's actually slightly better than Buchan's spare rifle, but it's non-repairable because it's limited. Everything in the trade terminal that can be limited is limited. There are a couple of things that aren't, but they're inconsequential. Like the Genesis Star Basic Refiner is repairable. Whoop-de-doo. I've bought it on day 1, I think, and I've used 25 peck worth of its decay. So that's not one you really have to worry about much. It's also where you buy like your resource gatherers, your early finders, the probes. So that's really important. The two things about the trade terminal I don't like is there's no, being as they don't really talk about it much, and I did not know this when I first started, so I actually lost head to it, is that you don't make as much selling to the trade terminal as you do to other players. And that all comes with markup, which is, if you see it in chat, it's going to be MU. That's all about the markup, because that's how you make pet in this game, is by markup. Players buy it for a premium over the TT, or you can just dump it into the TT, and in the end you're going to end up losing money. This even goes for shrapnel, especially if you're not a melee player. Melee players can't really use shrapnel for anything unless they're also miners. Hi! Which actually I hadn't thought of that before. I could just convert all my shrap and turn it into probes. Unfortunately, I would be on a much slower rotation, so I'm not going to do that for now. But as I get up there, I might start doing that. Hey, I just came up with a bright idea, kind of. Oh, this is the last one. There we go. Okay, what are our choices? I can take 100 stamina tokens and increase athletics by 7 ped. 100 stamina tokens and increase explosive projectile weaponry technology by 7 ped. I don't even use that. Increase my first aid skill by 3.48 ped and take the 100 stamina tokens, or I can increase one of those skills, the first two, by 23.63 ped, or first aid by 11.81. Now, when I started this particular part of this, I had planned on taking the athletics for 23.63. However, I found out that stamina tokens, I thought they were strength tokens. Stamina tokens are not easy to come by. Like, I've been playing this for 6 months. If we look at my attributes, my stamina is still 1. This is the only skill I've not figured out how to grow. The only way I can seem to figure it out is by buying stamina, is by getting, stamina tokens. Therefore, I am actually going to take this one. But first, I want to go to my athletics. Okay, so I have 1,165 athletics score. You know, I can never find a usable pen when I need it, which is ironic because I just bought a package. There it is. So we know where our baseline is. And we got the 100 stamina tokens. And now we're going to check. 1989. So 7 ped gave me 824 points in athletics. Did it affect anything else? It increased my health by 2 full points. I can imagine what it would have done if I had taken the 23 ped. That would have been awesome. Well, it would have been 3 times as much. It probably would have brought me up to like 107. But that's okay, because the stamina tokens, not entirely sure what they do, but oh, what have we got here? Oh, gear, seriously? Oh, it's a gun. Yay. It's a highly efficient gun. Uses quite a bit of ammo, but it's pretty decent. I'm just not skilled enough to use it. And TT's for 1 ped, of course, because it's a reward. What's this one? A pistol. A BLP pistol. I bet the other one's BLP too. Oh boy. But combat reflexes are up by 35 ped. For me, that's actually worthwhile. You have to get 3,000 skill points. And unfortunately, I happen to know for a fact that adolescents don't give you any. Burn some of the insane amount of universal ammo I got off this stupid quest. But 35 ped in combat reflexes is so worth it to me. It really is. It just means having to kill more. Oh yeah, no, not a single one. Okay, so we are actually done here. And let's see, pull out the Sleipnir, spawn it. There we go. Great. Take off, thank you. Boy, oh boy, what the hell is with this today? So, there you have it. We're now in the final Longtooth stage. I'm going to have to find higher maturities in order to make this work. But that's okay. You know, that's okay. That's going to be a good part of it. And, hey, that also means that they're going to hit me harder. But they're also going to yield more. So we're going to first see what exactly we got out of this. And I'm pretty sure these don't go for anything, so I'm not even worried about that. And then we're going to go and trade in these stamina tokens, and we're going to see how that affects things, if at all. Kind of hoping I didn't screw up by taking the stamina tokens over the athletics, because I just realized that with the amount of health I just got out of that 7 ped, I could be at like 110 health right now if I had taken the 23. Yeah, that's okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing what 35 ped in combat reflexes gives me. Wouldn't that be awesome? Dodge, dodge, dodge. I doubt that would happen. Be funny, though. Let's see. Okay, so we got 23.25 ped in shrapnel. And then we're just going to quickly see what the other stuff gives us. Yes, I know that. I'm not even going to risk these stupid tokens. So it comes out with 26.75. I don't think I got any weapon drops. No, I did not. It's 26.75. Pull this out for a second. 350. I have a spreadsheet, and so I'm just trying to calculate totals for the day. Yes, I'm probably the world's weirdest gamer, and I actually have a spreadsheet on what I go through in Entropia Universe. Solve for shrapnel, go to the repair terminal. So yeah, this is definitely a lost situation. Probably lost about 10 pet on that one. So who knows, maybe I'll be able to make it up with the higher maturities. That's what I'm hoping, at least. So anyway, that part's done. I am going to go turn in the stamina tokens before I end the vid. So you'll at least get to see that and see how it affects things, and I'll get to see how it affects things because I don't have a bloody clue. Twin Peaks is where the person is that trades them in. But anyway, I was going to do a lexicon in this video. The hunt ended a little bit faster than I expected. It is a bit of a grind, that's okay. So I'll have to put a reminder in for myself to do the lexicon thing. We started with TT and we did MU. I can always dive into rookie chat and talk about some of the things there. Up here is where you'll find the vendors. Of course, it would help if I was going the right way. They haven't spawned in yet. There she is. Attribute token trader. Okay, so taking a look at our attributes. There's stamina. I heard that health has something to do with it. Strength might. We're going to look at our total skill points, which is 19,641. And oh wow, you actually have to drag them in. There we go. Stamina improved by 1. 19,642, so it didn't do jack. Well, it increased my health experience a little bit. But who knows, maybe it'll mean I take a little less damage on every strike or something like that. I got 2 stamina now instead of the 1. Yay. Okay, so that's the video. Future videos, I'm starting to try and do them about twice a week. It means that some of them might be shorter, some of them might be longer. I do have a long one that's already in queue. I think it comes out today, in fact. I was out doing a joint hunt with my buddy Steve, so that will be in here pretty shortly, actually. You'll have seen that. You'll be seeing this about a week after that one comes out. So I'm going to try to do about 2 of these a week, and we'll see where it goes from there. And I'm always going to try to have some sort of a topic. While the migration goes on, I'm primarily going to be hunting Longtooth, but after that it'll be a lot of mining, maybe some space travel, maybe visiting other planets, even sweating for a little bit. I might show off the sweat fields of Boreas for the newbies, and just, you know, how grindy can this game be? Vary. But it can have some benefit too when you're going out there sweating. So yeah, thanks a lot everyone. Thank you for watching. If you could please give me a like and a share, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you liked what you saw, please drop a comment. If you didn't like what you saw, especially, please drop a comment. I would love to know. The only way I can get better is if I know where I'm going wrong, right? So if you're not being entertained by it, then I'm definitely not doing my job. So thanks a lot and have a good night. Bye.